So Kat, we've just got off the bus, yeah?
Yes.
And what do they call this bus?
It's a Regio bus, student bus agency.
Uh-huh.
And it's really good because it goes straight to Karlovy Vary. So it goes Prague airport to Karlovy Vary. The ticket costs around 150 Czech. And the journey takes 1 hour 40 minutes. You get a coffee, tea, cappuccino on the bus for free.
It's all for free, is it?
It's all for free.
Yeah, that's good.
And you can also watch the movie. So we watched the movie Gold.
Yeah, it was really good. Basically, Charles IV, the guy that created Karl's Bridge in Prague, was out in this area hunting, and one of his dogs ran off after a deer, and while it was running after the deer, this is a story apparently that Kat's told me anyway, that when it ran off after the deer, it fell into one of the hot springs. Now they heard the dog squealing and crying, and they went over to it, pulled the dog out of the hot spring, and then they realized that the wounds of the dog started to heal, and this was all the minerals in the water. So Charles IV decided they were going to build a town here, and this is how this town was actually developed. Charles IV himself had some leg problems and decided to get in the spring as well, into the natural minerals in the hot water, and see if it healed him, which it did. And therefore this town was created, and that's the story, Kat, isn't it?
Yes, that's right, and that's the story.
So one of the reasons that people come to Karlovy Vary is they get recommended to come here for spas by their doctors. Now here, the process is you come in, you visit the doctor, he finds out what your ailments are, he's then going to recommend to you exercise, different types of massage, and then he's going to tell you what springs to actually drink from. So this is what they call the main colonnade. And all the way along this main colonnade now, you can get hot mineral water from the ground, from these little fountains. These fountains are tested daily to make sure that they're at the right temperature and they contain the right minerals. So as you come up to the colonnade, as Kat's going to do now, she's going to go get herself some of this natural spring water that is absolutely full of minerals. Each one contains a different mineral. There's 15 in total that's accessible. So Kat, she's got her hot mineral water out of the natural spring. It's fresh from the ground. It's been filtered for 3 years in total. What they do is they sell these little cups. You can see one in her hand now. Local busker just giving us a little bit of background music there. Okay, so in front of us we've got a traditional Czech stag do. I wouldn't say it was English.
I would definitely say this is English.
And he's got to go around dressed like this?
Basically, yes.
For the day. Very good. So we're just going to one of the outdoor springs now. It's in a beautiful setting, just outside the colonnade part. And this one here is spring number 8. And spring number 8 is 58 degrees C. And again, we're not sure the minerals that are coming through this one, but we'll find it out and we'll put it down below. This is the indoor springs that we came and visited yesterday, and these are very, very hot, some of them. I think this one 74, 75 degrees in front of us. And this is the one where we saw the guy who's actually making himself a cup of coffee yesterday. This is a natural hot mineral spring that's coming out of the ground, and as you can see, it goes up about 4 meters in the air. This particular one is quite a centerpiece. You can't see a lot through the mist, but it's quite a centerpiece for the rest of the town. I don't know if you can hear the noise from this, but that is boiling water coming straight out of the ground. Very hot, Cat? So as we said, there's lots of these hot springs all over Karla, but this one in particular, as you can see, the minerals leave a very, very nice colouring on the rock below. So the one thing you notice when you come to Karlovy Vary is that it's got a lot of Russians and a lot of Russian influence. A lot of the hotels that you find around here are actually owned by the Russians. Aristocracy would come here and spend their days having spas and medical treatment. I just want to show you a menu because, as I said, there's quite a lot of Russians live here, and a lot of the menus are in Russian for them to understand. Now there's a local airport here as well, very small airport, and I think it's another reason why you get quite a lot of Russians, is because it flies directly to Moscow, St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, places like that. So they get quite easy access getting in and out for their medical treatments, for their spas, and all the beauty stuff. So we're actually inside the temporary structure that they put up to cover these hot springs back in the 19th century, early 19th century, and they never took them down. So basically these springs, from what I can gather, is the doctor will tell you which one to go and visit to help you with ailments. So things like Crohn's disease, they reckon there's minerals in the water that will help somebody who's suffering from Crohn's disease. I'm not a doctor, I haven't seen it medically proved, so don't listen to what I'm saying. But yeah, this is spring number 5, and this one's at 61 degrees. So we just got to the other end of town now, and we actually came here this morning because we wanted to climb up to that tower up there. I don't know if you can see it around the top. It's a 1.6 kilometre walk. It zigzags through the woods, and you can get a cable car back down. Well, it's like a monorail really, a monorail car, not a cable car as such. There's 4 routes to get up there. When you get to the top, there's a Cafe Diana. It's called Tower Diana. There's Cafe Diana up there, and you can have lunch, which was reasonably cheap, I thought. We had 2 courses and drinks for under £20. Yeah, it was really good. Try it out. And at the end there, you've got the Grand Hotel Puff. So what's this, Cat?
So this is the Grand Hotel Pub. It's one of the best hotels in this place. And my father was telling me a little story when he was young and he was learning to be a carpenter. He had a friend here. He was working in there, and he took them through the hotel when there were the guests, and they were like dirty in their work clothes, and he took them through there, and they say it was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good stuff. And the amazing thing about this town is you just get to the end of it and that's it. There's nature, there's nothing else. This is their national park. It's behind this big hotel. As you can see in there, we're not going to have a coffee in there because they charge you, I think, Kat, 100 Czech, which is £3.50 for a coffee. It's almost like being in London.
So this is behind me. This is the players and the animals, and they say that these players, they were like an exposition in one part of the country and the animals in other part of the country, and then they moved them all here to Karlovy Vary and they put them together.
So what are they? They're baseball players?
Well, I think so, because it's like a players. They don't say what kind of players, but they look like they got the baseballs, don't they?
Very interesting, aren't they? And they're made out of, it looks like copper, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like copper or something.
It's definitely. This is the home of Becherovka, which is no longer produced here. However, I'm told that it's a very nice drink, drunk by the Czechs. Yeah, so just to show you the hotel. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It's called the Garden Hotel. It's on the Wi-Fi screen. This is the building we had a massage in earlier on today. It looks a little bit like a mental hospital, but apparently it's run by the town, and it's the town massage and health spa. So let's just have a little look at the front of the building. I reckon in its day it would have been absolutely lovely.
So this hotel, it's a thermal hotel. It's like one of the most famous hotels in Karlovy Vary or Karlsbad, and there is also thermal pool on the roof. So if you want, you can come and just go for a swim.
So we were going to come down here and we're just going to get a coffee at this outside coffee stand, but it's a little market outside this big hotel, the Hotel Thermal. But yeah, traditional food. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a turlo. This is what they do. They cook this food and then they fill it with cream. There's the little coffee shack there, but I think it's a little bit too cold for sitting outside. Can't agree?
Yes, agree.